name's Grace, and in this video we're going to talk more about dysfunctional families at Christmas and Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever big holidays where you live. Here's, for me, it would be Thanksgiving, Christmas, but not only. But anyway, I just did a little video, kind of like an introduction, and I said I was going to talk about in-laws, and I did mention one of my former in-laws that was just trouble, but that wasn't the only one. It was always so dysfunctional. The Christmases just were always so dysfunctional. I remember when I was a really small child, really young child, that one of my cousins had claimed that I hit her, and it was, Christmas at their house, and I'm standing there going, I don't even know what she's talking about. I don't know when she would think that I was anywhere around her, and I was a little kid, and I got in trouble for it, saying that I was a bully, mean, or what. A bully wasn't even a word I heard until much later on, but that I was, being mean and to her, and no, I wasn't. So I learned at such a young age, I don't even know if I was 5, what it was like to be around family who would do that, the whole thing of playing the victim when they set whatever it was up, and play the victim when there was no victimization going on at all. Of course, that would be physical. She had claimed I hit her or hurt her or whatever physically, but the victimization was me. I was victimized by my cousin, saying that I hit her, and then I got in trouble for it. The verbal, the emotional, all that wrapped around it. I didn't remember any kind of scene that could have happened at all. I remember that as a child, that young. Because there was no scene. There was no me being around her, like I just said earlier. But that kind of thing, I learned so young, and I saw it so much of my life. Seriously. People from a childhood, holidays, somebody's going to play like they're a victim of somebody else when there was nothing going on. There was actually no scene. Whoop, that was mean kind of machine there. I think that was kind of a little funny time for that to happen. Nothing actually happened, but you get what I'm saying, right? That big truck, diesel, it was close. But anyway, so some people always say, well, if you find trouble in everybody else, all your family and your friends and from your youth and all that, then it must be you. I've actually heard that before. It must be you. No. That whole thing of what do they all have in common is you? No, what they all have in common is they're abusive. Okay? And they saw a target. So if you ever hear somebody say that, correct them. I mean, okay, I'm not telling anybody what to do because it could be dangerous and all that. So strike that. It's not advice. I don't give advice. Or counseling or anything. No coaching either. But yeah, seriously, no, that's not what they always all have in common is you. They haven't. What do they do in a way? They see you as a target, scapegoat, somebody to bully, somebody to take all the flack for them. They might. A little squirrel moment here. This parking lot is full today. This is Texas, north of Dallas, suburb, north of Dallas, and our temperatures are dropping. Right now it's 54, and it's, let's see, right before 1 p.m., of course. And we're supposed to keep dropping the rest of the day, and I think at 33 degrees, or maybe even freezing. The warning said something about, from AccuWeather, said something like 29 to 33, I think, or 32 probably. But, yeah, and here it is, November 9th, I think? Yeah. So it's like everybody's coming to the store, going to the store for provisions, like as if we're in the middle of a hurricane or something. But, yeah, I've grown up around hurricanes, so not here, but, yeah. I said I've grown up. I grew up. Oh, my goodness. The traffic was kind of bad trying to find a parking spot. But anyway, yeah, so all my childhood, to get back to this part, I grew up, seeing people do these kinds of things. Cousins or, family members as I got older, in-laws, just horrible at the holidays. And if you hear a lot about narcissistic behaviors, some people say this. I think it's too much of a generalization. Not everybody's a narcissist that has bad behaviors. But they can't handle not being the center of attention. To me, that's kind of a bit more like a histrionic behavior. And they have to be that kind of center of attention, or they do anything to get it back on them. Don't care whether it's bad or good. Don't care who hurts. It's all about them, But, narcissistic people can do that too. Without any kind of, I don't know anybody who's been diagnosed. I've known people who were diagnosed with borderline, and I do wonder if it should have been histrionic. Yeah, or maybe even narcissistic. But, how they say, some people say that it's borderline, some of them, they borderline on these other personality disorders, and that, can be some that are expressed more like histrionic behavior, narcissistic behavior, along that line. So much of it was about so many, my family, so many people wanting all the attention on themselves. So many, not all of them, nope, not everybody. Me, I was more, and I would always wind up being the scapegoat. I was actually called the black sheep of the family, and I don't know if I ever actually said this out loud to them, but it would have been thank you. I don't want to be like you, if that's what it means to be part of the family. Yeah, but I usually didn't say much of anything. Just kind of ignored them, walked away, and then I'd hear about it. Could have been when I was way more into adulthood, heard what I had done many, many years ago. But yeah, it was kind of like the story of my life, Anyway, I'm going to go in the store and get my provisions. Yeah, I'm actually here because Adam asked me to go and get stuff to keep us warm, some food, that stuff. Soups and stuff. But gotta have our provisions. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to subscribe, I've got more stories, by the way, not actual stories, but for another video. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.